Man, we talking about getting the 8. We got the 8. Great job. Great job, hey. Hey, shout out, Kate. Awesome job, man. Talking about needing everybody. Hey, wait, Kate Step felt ready to go. Man, respect the hell out of you, man. Awesome job. Way to leadership. Awesome job, man. Defense, great job. Defense, way to stand up, time after time after time. Way to stand up, D-line, way to hunt. All right, now I got one here, game ball, all right? All right, one guy. All right, we're missing him. And when he came back, we needed him more than ever. All right, Evie, let's go. Hey, Texas up 3, 1, 2, 3.
This is J. Lou, and welcome to the Big Three and Beyond. H-Town, what's going on, H-Town? What a beautiful Monday, man. Beautiful weather outside, great, beautiful, clear blue skies. I mean, everything is just so much better after a big Texans win, right, Texans fans? Oh my God. Everything tastes better, everything smells better. A great start to another work week. And just everything is so much better after a Texans win. But this wasn't just another win. Yes, it was. Doesn't it feel good, Texans fans? We got a playoff team right now. I'm not saying like we're in the playoffs right now, but we are in the playoff hunt. Just think about it. A year ago, we were 1-12-1. We had just lost to the Chiefs. Now we're 8-6 right now. Obviously with 4 or 5 other 8-6 teams in the AFC. But it wasn't just another Texan win. It wasn't just because it was us staying in a playoff chase. It wasn't just that. Obviously, it was too. But that wasn't the only reason why there was such a huge game. The other reason why it was such a big game for Texans, and not just for the Texans, but Houston fans, period, is that Amy Adams and the Titans organization thought it would be cool to have all the Titans wear the throwback Oiler jerseys. I'm talking like the Columbia blue with the Oiler derricks, the Oiler derrick at midfield, all the walls around with Houston Oilers, all their Twitter feeds, Houston Oilers. They had Earl Campbell there. They were honoring Billy White Shoes Johnson at halftime. They had the Oilers leading rusher Eddie George. All this Oiler crap, rubbing it in, slapping us in the damn face. Man, I was watching the Oilers for a long time. Man, I'm not gonna lie. It was weird. It was very weird. It was like strange watching this other team sporting. This team, older team with the Derricks and the Columbia Blue, it was a slap in the face. And you know what? That made this win yesterday that much more enjoyable. You just take the Columbia Blue jerseys, them older freaking helmets and jerseys, and you can lock them up and put them away. Throw them away. Burn those. Don't ever wear those against the Houston Texans. And you saw what happened. Y'all lost in classic Oiler fashion in a heartbreaker to the who? Houston Texans. And also, you know I had to wear this UH Cougs, Case Keenum. Whose house? Whose house? Whose house? Whose house? You better believe it, baby. H-Town pride. CJ Stroud said that earlier in the season. Man, there ain't no more. We ain't gonna let this fly no more. We want all of H-Town, all the fans and everything to stand proud, come out Monday and wear their H-Town Texans, all the H-Town jerseys. You know, even if it's the old school J.J. Watt or Andre Johnson, you want H-Town to stand proud, man. Yes, man. So it wasn't just another big win. Obviously it was. I'm going to put this in historical fashion. This was such a gritty win yesterday, which I'm going to go into more details when I go in more talking about yesterday's game. But this was such a huge, as far as regular season, this is one of the biggest Texan wins in regular season. You can put that maybe even up there, including the playoffs, but obviously playoffs is a whole nother animal. But you might want to compare it, maybe not quite up there whenever TJ Yates came in for injured Matt Schaub and basically beat the Bengals to get into the playoffs, but it's up there. So obviously I'm very excited. I know I picked the Texans to lose. I did say the Texans were going to lose, so I'm going to own up to what I said last week. But I was looking at obviously all the injuries, no CJ Stroud, and obviously our main receivers weren't even playing. And Will Anderson wasn't playing. So I'm going to say, you know me, whenever I say, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I picked the Texans to win. No, I picked them to lose. I picked it in a close game. But the scoring was about right because you got two pretty good defenses going at it. So obviously we're going to talk the Texans Titans from yesterday or the fake-ass Oilers. That's my new name for the Titans now. Now they're talking about on their media now, they're not saying Oilers no more. I think they're the Titans now again. Yeah, you better take them Oilers, like I said, take all that fucking Oilers shit. Don't ever freaking wear them against the freaking Houston Texans, man. You freaking trying to disrespect us and all that. Oh yeah, and Mike Vrabel wearing a Bum Phillips cowboy hat. Come on, man. See, that all shit just backfired on y'all's ass. So Nashville. So how does it feel? Obviously, we're going to talk about NFL Week 15. Recap around from Saturday and Sunday. It's a lot of come from behind games. Unfortunately, to some of the teams that came from behind, I was hoping they were going to come from behind. But it is what it is. And also, I'm going to give my shout out. So, let's go ahead and start to yesterday's Texans Titans game. So, yes, the Texans won in overtime. It took overtime, but we prevailed in overtime. We won 19-16 in overtime after being down 13 early in the second quarter. Whenever, Case Keenum threw that pick six, we were down 13-0. That's when I put that Facebook post on there. You probably saw a lot of y'all saw I put my post on there. I was like, I don't know if I should put this on there. And I didn't say it was over, but I wasn't feeling it. That's what I said. I was not feeling the game. I didn't say it was over, but I wasn't feeling it. We were down 13-0. We didn't have our main weapons and stuff like that. So, no CJ Stroud. Our top two receivers are out. Obviously, Tank Dell's already out for the season. No Nico Collins. Will Anderson is out. Jimmy Ward comes out early in the game with a concussion. We have our third string right tackle, Charlie Heck. Titus Howard's already out. And George Fant was out for this week. So, D'Amico Ryans made a surprising move, which I don't think is surprising, but I was hoping for that they were going to go ahead and start Case Keenum. Nothing personal against Davis Mills. But Davis Mills, sorry Mills Mafia. I know there's your Mills Mafia out there. I don't trust Davis Mills. Yes, he has a good solid arm. And he can make some throws, but he's way too inconsistent. And I think with this huge game that we just had yesterday with playoff implications, I think D'Amico Ryan said, you know what? We need to go with our gritty veteran. We need to go with Case. Because Case has been there. He has faced so many types of defenses. He's been in so many game type atmospheres and all that. So, yes, Case Keenum is not just respected here in the H. He's respected in the whole league. So, he kept his composure and was calm in the huddle. Even after he threw the pick six, when he got off the field, all his teammates patted him on the back and said it's going to be okay. But Case Keenum already told his teammates that this ain't my first rodeo, partner. He said that. This ain't my first rodeo. That's what he told him. Case Keenum managed the game really well. He made the big throws in clutch moments down the stretch and in overtime. Devin Singletary had his best game of the year. I'm talking rushing and receiving with 170 yards. About 120 rushing and 50 receiving. Obviously the big receiving one was obviously the one in overtime to set us up for that field goal to win it. Our offensive line did mostly a good job. Obviously you had a few penalties. You had a few offsides penalties. Larry Tunsil, now I'm not going to be complaining too much because we won the game. It was overall a great, gritty win. But Larry Tunsil, why are you always offsides, man? You did it like 2 or 3 times yesterday. That's another 5-yard penalty. And we had another holding call. I know Charlie Heck, he had a few issues a few times. But overall, with our running game, it was solid. So, shout out to you, Bobby Slowick, for having a great game plan and for sticking with Singletary. For running the ball with Singletary and strictly Singletary, not Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce, for whatever reason, is not the Dameon Pierce from last year when he broke out. Maybe it's the system, but Singletary, he is the feature back. He is the man right now. He is the man right now. I'm just saying right there. So good job on sticking with Singletary and letting him run the ball. Honestly, I think we should have ran the ball more last week with Singletary against the Jets, but it is what it is. That was last week. We're past that. We're already beyond that already, right? So the only thing we know is we needed receivers and tight ends to step up yesterday. And I was like screaming. I was like, Noah! Noah Brown stepped up, man. And he had that touchdown catch in the end zone. I'm like, yes, Noah Brown, you're back. Obviously, I know he just came off an injury a few weeks ago, and he wasn't 100% last week against the Jets. But that's the Noah Brown that I know. What can Brown do for you? Well, Brown did a whole bunch for us, baby, in Nashville. And then Dalton Schultz, man, he might have made the catch of the season for us Texans fans. Can I even say it? A catch? I would say a steal from McCreary, the quarterback. McCreary, I thought whenever I first saw that play, I thought it was an interception. I was like, oh, shit. Excuse my language. I thought it was a pick right there, man. I was like, oh, man. But then when they showed the replay, and even my homeboy, shout out to JR the Star, shout out to Frank, we're all like, damn, man, this is a freaking pick right here. That's not what we needed. We needed to try to get in the end zone and score. No, Dalton Schultz, McCreary had the ball, and Dalton Schultz just snatched it from him and took the ball. That was huge. So, yeah, he was a monster yesterday, man. Definitely the catch of the year. Defense, Texans defense. I didn't forget about y'all. 7 sacks, 11 quarterback hits, and 12 tackles for loss. Best game of the year by far for the Texas defense. And this is the one thing that was so impressive. It wasn't the sacks. It wasn't the tackles for loss. It was shutting down Derrick Henry finally. Derrick Henry has owned the Texans in the last several games. He's been averaging almost 200 yards against the Texans defense. I know he was always like licking his chops against the Texans defense. Oh, I'm going to have me another 200-yard game. Not no more. Not no more. Christian Harris let you know about that early in the game. He set the tone when he got you early. He got you for that tackle for loss, and he got in your face and basically said, not today, sucker. Not today. Yeah, Christian Harris, he was an absolute monster in the first half, man. Oh, my God. He was making tackles all over the place. I thought every damn tackle in the damn first half was Christian Harris, man. Hell yeah, man. So, yes, the Titans did drive down that for first drive, and they scored a touchdown and all that. But from then on, from that touchdown, the Texas defense, from the lines to the linebackers and the secondary, they were all solid. They played outstanding. Jonathan Grenard and Malik Collins up front did their thing. Denzel Perryman along Christian Harris, which I already mentioned, they did their damage. And Stingley, Nelson, Petrie all made major contributions, knocking down passes, good coverage. And Desmond King, they had Desmond King further up the line, just, man, hunting, man, looking for Derrick Henry. Just, man, and he became the leading tackler. Special teams, Kaimi Fairbairn, welcome back, sir. I'm glad you're back. He made 4 field goals, including 2 over 50 yards. So, Case Keenum, 23 for 36, 229 yards. He had 1 touchdown. Obviously, he had the 1 interception, was the pick 6. He was sacked 3 times. Davis Mills was in for that 1 play. He didn't even get the pass off. He got sacked. It was for, I think, toward halftime. Rushing, Devin Singletary, 26 carries for 121 yards, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Dare Agumbawale, he had 1 carry for 17 yards. Xavier Hutchinson, 1 carry for 5 yards. And Damian Pierce got 1 carry for 3 yards. Receiving, Noah Brown, 8 receptions for 82 yards, averaging a little bit over 10 yards a reception, with 1 touchdown, obviously, in the end zone. Dalton Schultz, 4 receptions for 58 yards, averaging a little bit over 14 yards on average. Devin Singletary, 4 receptions for 49 yards, obviously the big one for 41 yards in overtime to set up that game-winning field goal. Robert Woods got involved, 3 receptions. Welcome back, Robert Woods. Robert Woods, 3 receptions for 30 yards, averaging 10 yards. And then Brevin Jordan had 1 for 14 yards. On the Titans side, Will Levis, 17 for 26 for 199. He had 1 interception. He was sacked 7 times. Rushing, Tyjae Spears, 9 carries for 30 yards for a little bit over 3 yards a carry. Will Levis rushed for 4 times for 25 yards. And here's the awesome stat. I love this. Derrick Henry, 16 carries for 9 yards. I'm going to say that again. Derrick Henry had 16 carries for 9 yards. Average 0.6 yards a rush. Receiving, Treylon Burks. Now, most of these were early in that first drive. Treylon Burks had 3 receptions for 62 yards. Chris Moore had 3 receptions for 39 yards. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Chidozium, unquote, 3 receptions for 36 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, 2 receptions for 21 yards. That's all DeAndre Hopkins. I love DeAndre Hopkins, but not yesterday. But he only had 2 receptions for 21 yards. They pretty much shut down D-Hop. On defense, Desmond King, leading tackler, 11 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits. Denzel Perryman, 10 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Christian Harris, 8 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Jonathan Renard, my boy JG, 6 tackles, 2.5 more sacks. I think he's got like 12 sacks for the year. 1 tackle for loss, 3 quarterback hits. Pay the man. Pay Renard. Even if you got to franchise him, franchise tag him, whatever. You got to definitely keep Jonathan Renard. Sign that. Pay that man. Malik Collins, 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits. Derek Barnett. Thank you for coming to the Texans, Derek Barnett. We assigned you just a few weeks ago. He got in the game. Will, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits. And Khalil Davis, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. On our secondary, and that's just our front line and our linebackers. Our secondary, Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley, Steven Nelson. 2 passes each defensed. Nelson also had the big interception early in the second half against D-Hop. Special teams, Kaimi Fairbairn, 4 for 4. 23-yarder, 27-yarder, 2 from over 50 yards, 53-yarder, and a 54-yard to win it. My stars of the game. I can't just say one defensive player. I can't just say Bernard. I can't just say Christian Harris. I just put in big bold letters, defense, because there are so many playmakers for the Texans defense. They swarm. And that's what I was saying in my last show. Swarm Derrick Henry. And that's exactly what they did. So that's my first stars of the game is the Texans defense. Devin Singletary is my next star of the game. Keep churning. Keep feeding the beast. Keep giving him the ball. And then obviously Kaimi Fairbairn, his first game back with those field goals. So, Texans fans, what's next? Well, right now, we're in a 3-way tie with Jacksonville Jaguars because they lost last night against the Baltimore Ravens. Thank you, Lamar Jackson. Thank you, Baltimore Ravens defense. And then obviously the Colts still won again. So we're in a 3-way tie in the AFC South. We're actually in the playoff hunt. We're sitting 8th right now in the standings. But here's the bottom line, y'all. If the Texans win out, we are in. The Texans win out, so they beat Cleveland, they beat Tennessee again, and then they beat at Indy next the Sunday after, we are going to be in the playoffs. It's just a matter of if we're going to be a wild card team or we could maybe be AFC South Division champs, but that all depends on what the Jaguars do since they've been reeling lately. So it's a possibility, but our best chance for the Jaguars would be for them to lose next Sunday at Tampa Bay because then they're at home against the Carolina Panthers and then they got Tennessee the last game. So if the Texans win out, we are in the playoffs. So, yes, the Browns are next Sunday, Christmas Eve. The Texans are 2.5-point favorites. C.J. Stroud should be back for this next Sunday's game. The Browns do have the best defense in the league, especially with Myles Garrett. He's an absolute monster. Joe Flacco is back. He did have a really great game yesterday. He had 3 interceptions yesterday, but he still threw for over 300 yards. David Njoku is having another solid season, and so is Amari Cooper. Me personally, I think this should have been a primetime game. Not Monday night. It can't be next Monday night because you're going to have the Ravens at the 49ers. That's going to probably be the biggest game of the weekend next weekend. But come on, Patriots at the Broncos? That's a Sunday night game? Come on, that should have been. They should have flexed that one to Sunday night. I'm just saying. So, anyways, that's my Texans and Titans. So excited, Texans fans. Woo! I promise you, I'm not gonna be picking the Browns. I promise you next Sunday. All right. NFL Week 15. So I didn't do so good on my picks. I was hoping for some upsets, but that didn't quite pan out. So I was 9-6 in my picks from Thursday night. So Vikings at the Bengals on Saturday. The Vikings are 7-7 now. The Bengals are 8-6. That was another overtime game. The Bengals won 27-24. Jake Browning had another great game. Dazzled again. They did trail 17-3 late in the third quarter, but he led his Bengals to 3 fourth quarter touchdowns, and they led the winning drive in overtime. So the Bengals won. So the Vikings couldn't do us a favor. Thanks, Vikings. Steelers at the Colts. So kind of similar to the Texans, the Colts were down 13-0 against the Steelers, but then the Colts defense stiffened up in the second quarter, and then Minshew got going with 2 touchdown passes to take the lead right at halftime, to be up 14-13 at halftime, and then they just kept the momentum going in the second half, and they basically just ended up being a beatdown. Thanks, Steelers. Yeah, you're not going nowhere anyways. Y'all need a quarterback. Broncos at the Lions. So I thought this was going to be a closer game. The Lions just beat down the Broncos. I picked the Lions to win, but I thought the Broncos were going to make it more of a game. But Jared Goff threw for 5 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns to that rookie tight end Sam Laporta, who is a beast right now. He's a rookie. Sam Laporta is a total beast. And Jahmyr Gibbs had another 100-yard running game. So shout out to you, Jahmyr Gibbs. You're a freaking beast. I remember you from the Tennessee Volunteers. Sunday game, so yesterday. Bears at the Broncos. I don't know why I picked the Bears. The Bears at the Browns, I apologize. Bears at the Browns. I picked the Bears to beat the Browns at Cleveland, but it was a close game. So the Browns won 20-17. Like I said, Joe Flacco threw for 3 picks, but he did throw for over 300 yards, 212 yards in the fourth quarter, and they rallied from 10 points down in the fourth quarter. But they escaped with a Hail Mary attempt that went right to the Bears receiver, Darnell Mooney, but he could not handle the ball. Bears fans were like, no! Bears had it. Y'all had the balls right in his lap, in the end zone. Y'all could have freaking helped out the Texans. Mooney, why couldn't you hold on to that ball? That would have helped us out. That would have helped out the Texans. Another one. It is what it is. Browns win again, but not next week. Nope, not next week. Buccaneers at the Packers. It's another one where I thought the Packers were gonna win, but Baker Mayfield was on his A game. He threw for 4 touchdowns at Lambeau Field. He finally got his first win at Lambeau Field. He lost there previously 2 times at Lambeau Field, with 2 different teams. Jordan Love had a nice game with a pair of touchdown passes, but the Packers defense had no answer for Baker Mayfield. Jets at the Dolphins. I thought this was going to be a closer game, but I was wrong. But I did pick the Dolphins to win. Dolphins won 30-0. Like straight shutout. No Tyreek, no problem. Raheem Mostert with 2 more touchdowns. Jalen Waddle had 8 receptions for 142 yards. Bradley Chubb on defense had his best game as a Dolphin with 3 sacks. Chiefs at the Patriots. Chiefs won 27-17. Mahomes and Chiefs finally snapped a 2-game losing streak. He passed for 305 yards, threw for 2 touchdown passes. Rashee Rice had another solid game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran for over 100 yards from scrimmage. So Chiefs fans and Swifties celebrated the win. And now they got a 2-game lead in the AFC West over the Broncos since the Broncos lost. So yes, go Chiefs. Giants at the Saints. Sorry, New York, if you're watching. I know you're rooting for the Giants, and I thought the Giants were gonna win. But who that, baby? Who that gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that gonna beat them Saints? Yeah, Saints won 24-6. That's my other team. Derek Carr threw for 3 touchdowns. Clemens Rangers, baby. Just saying. He went to my high school. Clemens High School. Threw for 3 touchdown passes. And their offense looked good despite being without their top receiver, Chris Olave, being out with an ankle injury. Alvin Kamara added over 100 yards from scrimmage. And the Saints defense just came to play. They brought their lunch. They brought their lunch pail. Falcons at the Panthers. Panthers win their 2nd game of the year. Bryce Young led the Panthers on a 17-play, 90-yard drive that took over 7.5 minutes after a late pick. And basically Bryce Young made them pay with the game-winning field goal. So, Panthers got their 2nd win. Commanders at the LA Rams. LA Rams won 28-20. Matthew Stafford threw for 2 touchdown passes, including an amazing catch to Cooper Kupp. And Kyren Williams had another solid rushing day for 152 yards and a touchdown, despite his fumbles earlier in the game. The 49ers at the Cardinals. 49ers are 11-3. The Cardinals are 3-11. 49ers won 45-29. They won 12 straight against divisional opponents. So I'm talking the Seahawks, the Rams, everybody in the NFC West. They won 12 straight. So they clinched the NFC West and are one step closer to getting that top seed. But they have a huge game against the Ravens next Monday night. Brock Purdy. He sure was Purdy. He had 4 touchdown passes. Christian McCaffrey rushed for over another 100 yards and another touchdown. They had two touchdown passes to Debo. I mean, is anybody going to beat the 49ers? I don't know. Cowboys at the Bills. Cowboys are 10-4. Bills are 8-6. So the Cowboys, again, I picked Buffalo to win this one because I don't know. Cowboys, y'all look like a Super Bowl team at home. Y'all look amazing. Y'all look unstoppable at home. But when y'all go on the road, y'all do not look like the same team at all. Man, y'all have Buffalo beat y'all's brains out yesterday, 31-10. Bills running back James Cook ran wild for 179 rushing yards and 221 from scrimmage. The Cowboys were limited to a field goal through 57 minutes of the game. The game was essentially over in the 3rd quarter after an added field goal with like 7 minutes being on the field in the 3rd quarter to put Buffalo at 24-3. The Cowboys still clinched their 3rd straight playoff berth thanks to other teams in the league that lost, Green Bay and Atlanta basically. Oh yeah, and the Cowboys are at Miami next Sunday. Good luck on that one. And then Ravens at the Jaguars. Ravens 11-3, Jaguars 8-6. Again, like I said, thank you Lamar Jackson. Thank you Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens won 23-7. It was a fairly close game until late. Jaguars just keep making mistakes, including 2 Trevor Lawrence fumbles, especially the one late in the 4th quarter. That really sealed the Ravens win. Plus more Lamar magic, escaping from getting sacked and rushing for about another 100 yards. And then tight end Isaiah Likely filled in nicely with another solid game. So yes, thank you Ravens. Really love that. So yes. And then We got Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party. We got the Eagles at the Seahawks. Eagles are 10-3. Seahawks are 6-7. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. The over/under is 47.5. Both teams are reeling right now after losses. The Eagles got to get back on track to basically try to stay up there with the 49ers. But obviously the 49ers have the inside track to the 1 seed. But obviously they need to try to still compete with the Cowboys because they're right neck and neck right now in the NFC East. I got the Eagles winning 24-17 in a close one. So that's my Texans and Titans, or my Texans and fake ass Oilers. That's my NFL Week 15 recap. And now I basically got to my shout out. My one shout out. I'm going to have a few more shout outs my next show on Friday. There's some birthdays that I got to shout out to you. So I'm going to shout out to you, Robin. Robin is an awesome person. Man, I always enjoy, like, you know, your posts on Facebook and everything. You and your lovely family. I love your holiday, your Christmas lighting and your Christmas stuff all going on. But so I went to school with her. She's always very down to earth, very friendly. So I gotta give a shout out to you, Robin. Happy birthday, happy 48. I know it was yesterday. I know I sent you a happy birthday on the FB. But shout out to you, Robin. Happy birthday. So anyways, again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in to the Big 3 and Beyond. Still getting more and more views every day, getting more subscribers every day. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please, I do this every time, por favor, please subscribe to my channel, Big 3 and Beyond with Josh Lou. Appreciate all the likes, appreciate all the shares. Also, I will upload my video later, so it will be to my regular Facebook, personal Facebook profile, and also going to have it uploaded in my SoundCloud in audio format. So again, H-Town, feeling good. We're 8-6. We're in the mix, baby. We got our playoff team. This is so exciting. So exciting. I can't contain myself. Oh my God. So exciting. I'm ready for this next Sunday already. It's going to be another big week. Like I said, there should be a primetime game, but it is what it is. Again, thanks again for tuning in. I love all y'all in H-Town. I'm out of here. Peace.